Hello and grüß Gott. Welcome to another video by Everything R50. Today I'm going to show you how I managed to integrate a CarPlay module into my R52. To start off, I'm gonna talk about the requirements. Obviously, you're gonna need a sat-nav because we're gonna swap that display out and seamlessly integrate the display of the CarPlay module. What's also needed more or less is an auxiliary port because FM transmission works as well, but I'm quite scared that there are some interferences which lead to the sound not being all that good. So I would highly recommend having an auxiliary port, although FM transmitting should work as well, but I can't guarantee this. The module that I used in this video is linked down below. And with that out of the way, let's jump into the video. While looking on the internet, I found two solutions. One is this monstrosity. I really don't get how anyone would spend 400 euros just to completely destroy the look of their car. So now I'm not gonna do that, it looks terrible. Next up, I found a video of a guy from Spain who managed to integrate a screen. The problem is that first of all, he doesn't really tell you how to do it. And second, the screen that he used doesn't really fit all that well, because the screen is 7 inches and the screen that R50 uses is 6.5 inches. The screens that can be found on the internet mostly are 7 or 6 inches, and the screen I found is about 6.2 inches, meaning that there is like a small surrounding area which is not screen and is just black but doesn't really catch your eyes. So as you can see, it takes around 25 seconds to be into CarPlay. I didn't have to do anything. I was actually holding my phone, so it just automatically connects to your phone and you're ready to go. Starting off, I gotta admit that I'm somewhat of a lazy person and I've already finished the project, and only in hindsight I came up with the idea that this might be something that a lot of people are interested in. So I'm not gonna take everything apart and show it perfectly step by step. However, I got myself a second satnav module which I trained on and that I used to get a couple of clips which should help you with understanding what I did. And also I took a lot of pictures in the process, and I think all of that combined should make everything clear. Before disassembling my beloved car, I powered up the CarPlay module and also connected it to the cigarette lighter power cord, as well as the auxiliary port, which is situated in the glove compartment. Then I connected it to, after that I connected it to my phone, tested all the basic functions, and just ensured myself that the module is working. With a working device in my hand, I was now able to say goodbye for the last time to the original CarPlay screen, which basically had no function left other than providing my fuel economy, which information I could also gain via the gauge cluster. So yeah, sad moment. Before doing any other step, I had to disconnect the battery. This is a really important step to ensure that no airbag is being activated, especially on pre-facelift models which have the passenger side airbag directly behind the dashboard cover. Next, I had to remove the chrome trim surrounding the sat-nav and the two buttons. Also, I had to remove the centerpiece of the dashboard. To remove the big plastic trim that's now visible, you gotta unscrew two Torx screws which sit on top of the dash. With those screws out of the way, you should now be able to pull out the centerpiece. If you have problems with this part, there's some videos on YouTube that are, well, actually videos regarding this step. The sat-nav itself is being held into place via 4 more Torx screws. And after removing those, you should be able to pull out the sat-nav and gain access to 3 cables, which then again are held into place via levers. And if you push on those, the connection will naturally come loose. Congratulations, you now have finally removed that thing out of your car. And the next step is gonna be removing the actual screen, and for that I got video footage. Starting off, there are 4 screws that hold the outer plastic surroundings of the screen in place. There's also a button down below that you can simply pull on and it comes loose. So now that those 4 screws are out of the way, there are 4 more screws on the backside. Those are those 4 black screws, which I believe are also Torx screws, if I remember correctly. After removing those 4 screws, you can take the outer shell off. Next up, there are 6 more tiny screws surrounding the metal casing. After removing those 6 screws, you should now be able to remove the back casing. And now comes the tricky part. There are 4 screws which hold the screen into place, and I tried many methods, and there is a simple solution actually. You just gotta use a very small screwdriver that you can like put in the side of it, and you will certainly figure it out once you have it in your hand. And you can also like push the outer metal a bit because it's not connected all the way. And yeah, I'm trying to show you where to put the screwdriver. Those are the 2 of the 4 screws. Just gotta find that correct angle. After removing those 4 screws, you finally have the screen in your hands, and you notice 3 cables that connect the screen to the motherboard. The flat band cable is held into place via a plastic clip, which is easily removable. Then there is like, I think it's a power cable that's just pushed in, and there's two clips on the outside. And there's also a third tiny cable, the white one, that I struggled a lot, but after using like a little bit of force and just pulling on it and pushing with a screwdriver, I was also able to get that thing out of the way. And yeah, finally have that ugly ass screen removed. With the old screen now removed, we can finally turn our attention to the CarPlay device. I'm now going to tell you a little bit about the game plan to hopefully make you understand for the following steps a little bit better. Due to this thing being a little bit on the thicker side, we can't just go ahead and put the device straight in there and connect it. That would be way too easy. So yeah, what we're gonna be doing is removing the back piece, removing all the electronics of the back piece, and after that recycle said back piece into 3 different pieces. I know it sounds a little bit complicated, but all of that's going to be a lot clearer following the upcoming pictures. Here is what the inside looks like. What you see here is the speaker, which is of no use because I'm never ever gonna use it, as it's like, why would I have that in there if I'm always connected to my car anyways? Removing it was rather easy. I just like used my force, put the screwdriver in there, pulled out the speaker, cut the wires, and like isolated them using electric tape. Then there's the camera, which was somewhat tricky because there are 3 extra screws in the back, which, like where the lens is, you gotta like unscrew the lens basically. But after getting rid of those screws, the camera is not a real problem. Next up, I had to take care of the microphone, which is the small dot on the bottom of the screen with entangled wires. I basically just used the soldering iron to cut it out. Then there's the antenna that's just connected with one black cable. By heating up the glue, which is holding the antenna into place with a hairdryer, I was able to carefully separate the antenna from the plastic back trim. Now there's only one thing which is left to be removed, which is the logic board. Simply unscrew the 3 screws, and you should be having the back piece in your hand without any electronics on it. When you now compare the screen without the back piece, you find out that the screen itself is quite slim, very slim actually, and way slimmer than the old screen. So what I figured I gotta do is cut along the back piece that's now free of all the electronic parts. I've drawn a red line, which basically is the plane that you're gonna be cutting along. All of the material that's facing towards the screen side is going to be used as spacer to get back the extra about centimeter that's now missing on depth. After cutting the back piece into 2, I went ahead and screwed the frame back on to gain some extra depth. I then went ahead and cut the remaining piece in more or less half, so the electronics can fit into the sat-nav system and are basically hidden away. I screwed the motherboard on top of the half, and that's what you're seeing in this picture. What I then did is pull those cables in, the aux cable and the power cable, and fit the half which is holding the logic board of the CarPlay module into the sat-nav. But before doing so, I wrapped the logic board into heat-resistant plastic to make sure there's no electronic interference or any current which is going somewhere where it shouldn't be, and also made sure that there is like some way of air to circulate and distribute the heat. If you paid real close attention, you might have noticed that the black plastic piece surrounding the sat-nav has changed a little. That's necessary to create the space because the new screen is a little bit wider. Not necessarily the screen itself, but the housing. When I was at this stage, I found that one of the corners wasn't sitting like real flush and it was wobbling a bit. So what I did is just used my good old friend the electrical tape and basically created some more depth. And after all of that, I was able to basically do most of those steps in reverse and put everything back together and enjoy my R52 with CarPlay. The only thing I somehow forgot was to think a little bit more about the microphone, because I'm sure I could have put it somewhere, maybe like in the air vents or something, because as of now the microphone is sitting behind the screen, and funnily enough it does work. I can communicate with people if they call me while I'm driving, and yeah, I gotta be just a little bit louder. So maybe in the future I gonna tackle this issue. But for now, I'm incredibly happy. I think this is the best thing I could have done to this car, because it literally feels 10 years younger with the CarPlay being installed in such a clean and functional way. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I'm happy about a thumbs up. And if you got any questions, just ask me in the comments down below. I'm happy to answer all of them.